Hello Gemini, my name is Jason. Thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for revisiting my channel if you're returning. This is your general tarot reading for mid-December, or for the second half of December 2018. So it should take you anywhere from now until somewhere in the new year. Time is fluid, remember that, so a few days, a couple of weeks here and there. You'll know if this is resonating for you within the first few minutes, I would say. So if it's not resonating for you, please check out your moon and rising sign, or please feel free to move on, come back another day. Okay, it's all good for me. Please like and subscribe if you do like my videos, or please feel free to comment, give me some feedback. Any kind of feedback is good, as long as it's positive and constructive. I think you know the deal. Okay, so I've given the cards a pretty good shuffle. Okay, Gemini, you go into the second half of December with the King of Swords energy. Okay, so you have lovely clear thought at this time. You'll have a look at this person's sword straight up and down, and you have a look at the sun behind his head right out there. That's indicating nice clear thought, clear direction on what he wants, he or she. Okay, remember these are just energies we're talking about. Your challenge for the second half of December, you have the Four of Swords. Okay, so you're being asked to just sit back and reflect a little bit on what you've been through, perhaps for the year, or some event which has happened to you or around you, and you're being asked to reflect on that and try not to take anything personally, and try not to apportion blame for things. Okay, if someone has made a mistake around you, then it's up to you to sort of forgive that, I'm thinking, and really, especially if it's like a mistake which is not so much part of a person's makeup, where they continually just push the envelope to get what they want, but a genuine mistake. I think you'll know what I'm talking about there, if it's that. Now, if it's not about somebody else, it's about you just reflecting on how you have performed and how far you have come this year. Okay, that's what it's feeling like, but we'll clarify these. Okay, your fears for the second half of December, you have equilibrium. Now, this is the Celtic deck, so this is the Temperance card, and what you really need to try and go for here is cooperation and balance. So I'm feeling that there might be an issue coming up for you where you're going to have to compromise or mediate somehow, negotiate, and you're not looking forward to this. I can't figure out why yet. We'll have a look at this, but it looks like there's a sense of foreboding about some meeting or about something which is going to happen soon, and it's going to require you to maybe do some wheeling and dealing, or you might even have to give some ground about something in order to get something in return, and you're not looking forward to that. But look, at the end of it, it's feeling like it should turn out for you all right. But again, this is just a fear at the moment. Okay, so we'll clarify that later. The best attitude for you to take going into this matter for the second half of December, you have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the Ten of Wands is a sign that something is just about completed. Okay, this person here, they just want to drop that bundle, don't they, and get home. And that's what you want to do. You just want to get rid of these responsibilities as quickly as you can, or as effectively as you can, so you can move on. So you're feeling that there's the end of a cycle coming, and you're trying to wrap this up fairly quickly, I'm seeing, and that's why it's in the position of the best attitude to take. So you want to try and dump this responsibility. Perhaps you've taken on more than you can reasonably handle, particularly at this time of year, and you want to let something go to have a sense of closure there. But we'll talk about that. We'll clarify those. And now, the outcome for the end of this period here, and you have the Page of Cauldrons or the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, you might be receiving an offer. There might be a genuine offer coming in. It might be a little bit clumsy, might be a little bit naive, or it may be a little bit stronger than you want. So a small offer, but it's quite it's a genuine offer, but you might just be feeling, oh, that was sort of a little bit awkward, perhaps, because it's coming from a page, and the pages aren't really experienced, or if it's an older person making this offer to you, it's not so much that they're not experienced, it's that they're not sure about the right way to go about things. So maybe you've just met someone and they want to sort of say the right things to you. It's just coming across a bit awkward or a bit sort of clumsy. But we'll clarify that. Okay, so let's have a look here. This King of Swords. So you're going into the second half of December feeling pretty clear about something. You've got a very clear idea about how you want to communicate something or how you want to communicate with somebody. Now, that's not necessarily to say it's the best way, but you're very clear about how you want to do it. So perhaps you've been single a while, or perhaps you've been thinking about someone for a while, and you've made up your mind that if it's going to work, it's going to have to work this way, or you've decided after thinking about someone or something that, yes, I like this, or I don't like it, whatever it is, but you know how to deal with it now. You think you know how to deal with it, and you feel like you're on the right track there. So what's this about? Why is the King of Swords here for Gemini? What is the King of Swords here for Gemini for the end of September? And we have here the Five of Swords. Okay, so the Five of Swords is about perhaps you've had some minor misunderstandings with someone. The connection hasn't quite been there. So you've had a sort of an argument, and you've won this, and then maybe they sort of walked away, and then it's your turn to walk away, and now it's just like things left up in the air. So you're feeling like the victor at the moment, like you've got the upper hand, but someone could come back and use those swords on the ground, come back and use them against you. It's not feeling like a big deal. It's almost like a fun. It's someone looking on the outside would be laughing and seeing how funny it is, and maybe if you were looking back at it in a few months' time, you'd probably be seeing the bright side of this little conflict that's been going on there. What was this argument about? Please clarify. The Five of Swords and what's coming up there. Okay, the High Priestess. So perhaps there's a Cancer in your midst somewhere, and they're trying to do the right thing by just letting things flow. So this is a High Priestess, and she uses her intuition. She doesn't push too much. She prefers to just let things happen around her and go with the flow. She can make things happen, but she tends to make things happen by just attracting whatever she desires. Okay, so she's not going to go chasing. She lets things happen, and she really trusts the universe. So highly intuitive card, highly spiritual, and this person can walk between and use their intuition for practical matters in the 3D world. So I'm not sure if that's clarifying that, but look, there seems to be, so you've got this clarity about perhaps a Cancer or an intuitive person, male or female, and that's all I'm getting out of that. I'm feeling a real intuitive person there, and you've probably been having a sort of bit of backward and forward. You haven't quite been connecting with this person, even though I can see that it can definitely work here. Let's have a look here. Four of Swords. Why is the Four of Swords here in the challenge position for Gemini? Okay, and so the Four of Swords is clarified by the Emperor. Okay, so the Four of Swords will usually ask you to just chill out a little bit. The Emperor is like the opposite to chilling out, of course, is moving forward, and that's what the Emperor does. He goes around making things happen. He rules strongly, firmly, and is there because he deserves to be there. So perhaps there's like an Aries in your midst somewhere, or if you have a lot of Aries or fire in your chart, and one side of you is asking you to just sit back and wait. If this is a love reading, it's like one side of you is asking you to sit back and wait, but the Emperor, the fire inside you, wants to move forward. And so that's quite a challenge for you, because you don't want to be seen as a chaser, but you want something to happen. So look, can we clarify the Emperor and the Four of Swords here, the challenge position for Gemini? And we have 10 of Cups. Okay, so this is what you're going for with this person. So this is telling me there's a lot of balance which is needed here. You're going to have to work out the balance, but at the end of it, this 10 of Cups is, now the 10 of Cups is like abundance all round, so emotional fulfillment in so many ways. So you've got this reflective energy with this go-get-it energy, and at the end of it, you got the 10 of Chalices, which is just beautiful. Happy family, beautiful scenery around you. So that's basically what you're being asked to. Sorry, I can't be more helpful than this. You're being asked to reflect quietly, take a step back, but at the same time move forward. So perhaps it's about meeting somebody halfway for equal give and take. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of equal give and take, and at the end of it, yes, this 10 of Cups is beautiful. Okay, now your fears. As I said, your fears, you're a bit worried that you might have to cooperate with someone about something. You're feeling you might have to give up something of yours, or you might have to give up something in order to get something. You just need to perhaps ask yourself if you're being a little too unrealistic here. If this is about a relationship, then what are you giving? You have to give something to a relationship, Gemini. Why is the Temperance card here? Please clarify equilibrium, because it's the Celtic deck. Please clarify equilibrium for Gemini in the fears position. Okay, rebirth. Okay, so rebirth is the equivalent of the Judgment card in the Rider-Waite deck. Now, the rebirth, because it's in your fears position, perhaps you've become a little bit too comfortable where you are, and you're worried that a new relationship or a new change or moving out of this comfort zone is going to be too uncomfortable for you, and you're feeling like you're not ready for that. Or so you see here, you're going to have to cooperate somehow, have to give up a little of something, and here it will lead to a rebirth, but you're not sure if you're ready for a rebirth, for a reawakening. Perhaps you're feeling quite comfortable, feeling like a cat on the sofa, just doesn't really want to get up and do anything. Maybe it's a lazy summer day, and you're not really sort of feeling like getting up and doing anything that way. Okay, so perhaps that's looking like a fear that you have, is that if you follow this relationship up, even though there's a good chance that it can end up in the 10 of Cups sort of energy, you're feeling that almost like you couldn't be bothered, which is fine. Let's have a look here, the 10 of Wands, but you want to get rid of this. You want to get rid of this energy. Something's been dragging you down. So has there been like a legal matter or a practical matter which is sort of weighing you down, and it's stopping you from expressing who you are, and it might be affecting your love life or your work life or your routines. Perhaps you've just been working too much, and it looks here, look, this person is just really weighed down with all this work. Okay, so perhaps you just need to give yourself some spare time, drop that bundle at least for a while. Let's have a look. The best attitude to take. Best attitude to take. Why is the 10 of Wands here? Please clarify the 10 of Wands and you have here the Seven of Pentacles. So look, this seems to be saying, because you've got the Ten of Wands there, which is the end of a cycle, you're nearly at the end of it now. The Seven of Pentacles talks about waiting for the big payoff. Okay, so you've done all this work here. If you've done this work and you're closing out the cycle, then along comes the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is, well, you don't know quite how you're going to use all these resources here. All this work that you've done down here, okay, Seven of Pentacles talks about waiting for the payoff, waiting for what to do next. Okay, so pretty positive card, really. If you're a patient kind of a person, if you're a little bit impatient, it could be a struggle for you. But because this is in the best attitude position, the Seven of Pentacles is asking you to also trust in the universe. Look, if you look very carefully above those pentacles in the sky there, you'll see those people above it. They're the spirit guides. They're asking you to sit back, work through logically, okay, work through, wait for the right inspiration to come, how you're going to use the payoff from all this work that you've done. Okay, finally that's ending. You've got the payoff here, and you look at those people sitting there making something in that cauldron there. Okay. Yes, I wonder what they're making, what potion they're making up. They might be turning something into gold. So perhaps they've processed something, they've turned something from one form to another, and now they're waiting for the payoff. So perhaps they're miners or manufacturers of something, or alchemists mixing some kind of chemicals, measuring things, adding, weighting, moving things. Either way, look, you're being asked to wait patiently. Okay, sorry to digress there. Okay, now the outcome. You have the Page of Cauldrons. So at the end of the month, the Page of Cups, there could be some offer coming into you. Now it could be to do with all this work that you've done, or it could be something different about a relationship issue. And so the offer that comes in, it looks like you'll be having the choice here to take it or leave it. You want to take it, but you're just a bit worried about the rebirth, the new start, this resurrection that this is going to give you. And you can feel that this is going to give you a new lease of life, a rebirth, but you're not ready for it. I don't know if that's logical, Gemini, but we all get in comfort zones and into little ruts, and perhaps you've been working so hard that you haven't had time to think about any of that other stuff. So, and this is what the universe does. Sometimes it just gives us stuff, opportunities, and things to think about. And look, but this is looking like a very positive reading, really. Let's have a look. Okay, so what is this Page of Cups about? Why is the Page of Cauldrons here? Let's clarify the Page of Cauldrons. And we have, okay, the Six of Swords. Okay, so this offer is going to allow you to move on. This is the Six of Swords, which talks about moving along, okay, moving away from one stagnant, rough situation, a rough situation. So the waters behind them are rough, and then the waters in front are smooth. So the Six of Swords is an opportunity to move on, okay? And so this offer that you get from the cauldron, so it's probably from a water sign, okay, is going to allow you to move forward, okay, and move away from this stagnant or rough situation that you're in. It's going to help you out there, and to move on to calmer waters and a new beginning. Okay, so the Six of Swords is about moving away. Okay, finally valuing yourself, or just saying that enough's enough of that old situation and I'm moving on. I'd just like to clarify that one more time. What might you be moving to? So what might Gemini be moving to with this Six of Swords energy brought about by this offer, this Page of Cups energy? and you have opportunities are choices. Okay, so at the moment you might be feeling that you don't really have choices. So this payoff that you get, this offer which you get, is going to give you lots of choice. Okay, and it's because it's this is the Two of Pentacles here. Um, it's probably something to do with money. So it's going to open up some financial opportunities for you, some employment opportunities. It might not look that way in the beginning, but you're going to see that, and you've got the ships in the background coming in. Okay, so you're going to see that this is an opportunity in disguise. So hopefully that's resonated for you. If it does, I'm pretty sure you'll know it if that works for you. Okay, Gemini, please like and leave me any comments, positive comments, or at least honest feedback. And please subscribe, and hope to talk to you for a reading around Christmas.